I'm Vindya, working as assistant professor in the stream of computer science and engineering in B.V. Raju Institute of Technology in Narsapur. So as we have discussed the tokens in C in the last video, we have completed keywords and identifiers. So today we'll discuss constants, strings and special symbols. Okay, what is a constant? As we have discussed in the last class or earlier class, the constant has a fixed meaning or a fixed value which cannot be changed throughout the program. It is not like a variable, right? If I define a constant, the value will be fixed throughout the program. If I try to change the value of the constant, you will get an error, right? So in a constant, we have numeric constants and character constants. Constants are divided into numeric constants and character constants. Okay, the syntax to define a constant is you have to write the keyword const. In the list of 32 keywords, we have seen the keyword const, and then you have to write what type of data it is, what type of data the constant is. Whether it is integer, float or character, you have to give the data type there. Okay, so and here you have to give the name of the constant, that is the variable, and here you have to give the value and you have to end it with semicolon. This is the syntax to define a constant. So here there is an example to define a constant. The first one is the keyword const, and the data type of the const is integer data type, and const name, that is the variable name, here they have taken it as var, okay, equals to the value of the constant semicolon, right? So this is the definition, or we can define the constant. Okay, you cannot define the constant like this. Constant int, suppose as we have given the constant name as var here, and then you cannot give the constant value here. You cannot declare a constant like this. The initialization and declaration should be done in a single line, that is use const, give the data type, constant name, value and the semicolon. So it should be in a single line. For a variable, you can declare in the separate line and you can initialize the value of the variable in separate line. But whereas when you define a constant, it should be in a single line. Okay. So as we have seen, we have two types of constants. One is numeric constants and the other one is character constants. Under numeric constants, we also have integer constants and floating point constants. Character constants, we have single character constants and string constants. Okay, let us see what is integer constants. Integer constants. You know what is an integer? All positive, negative values including 0 is called as an integer, right? So in integer constants, again we have decimal integer constants, octal integer constants and hexadecimal integer constants. Okay, so decimal integer constant consists of the digits 0 to 9. Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It will be the combination of the digits from 0 to 9. Suppose the examples are 1, 2, 3, minus 3, 2, 1, plus 78, whereas the symbol is optional there. It can be, if the number is positive, the plus symbol can be omitted. Okay, suppose, so I'll give const int, suppose the constant name is a, is equals to 123, right? So this is a decimal integer constant, right? As this is a positive number, you may not include plus, it is the optional one. But if it is a negative number, you must include minus symbol there, right? So So minus 321 is an integer constant, and we have plus 78. That is also an integer constant. Right? The next integer constant is octal integer constants. In octal integer constants, the integer consists of the digits from 0 to 7. Okay, and it is preceded by 0. The octal integer constant is preceded by 0. The examples are 0, 37, 0 and 435. 0, 435. Okay, so these are octal integers. And next comes hexadecimal integers. In hexadecimal integer constants, we have 16 digits. 16 digits. Okay, that is from 0 to 9 and 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 10 will be considered as A, 11 as B, 12 as C, D, E and F. Okay, so A, B, C, D, E, F. So the hexadecimal integer will be the combination of the digits from 0 to 9 and the combination of A to F. Okay, some of the examples of hexadecimal constants are 0x2, 0x9f, whereas the F value is 15. Okay, so all these are numeric constants. Decimal integer constant, octal integer constant and hexadecimal integer constant. Decimal integer constant consists of only the digits from 0 to 9, whereas octal integer consists of the digits from 0 to 7 and it is preceded by 0, whereas hexadecimal integer is preceded by 0x and it consists of the digits from 0 to 9 as well as from A to F. The combination of A to F and as well as the digits, and it will be the number will be preceded by 0x. So all these are numeric constants. Under numeric constants, all these are integer constants. And coming to the next constant, we have floating point or real constants. Okay, these are the constants with decimal notation. Okay, having a whole number followed by a decimal point, and then after the decimal point you have to give the numbers again. These are real constants or floating point constants. Here you will be having fractional part, the decimal point and the decimal number. Okay, so these are the numbers with decimal notation having a whole number followed by a decimal point. So some of the examples of floating point are 215.10, 0.95 and minus 0.75. Here also you can have positive as well as negative floating point constants. Okay, and you can also represent these real constants in the form of mantissa E exponent. Right? So here, for example, if you want to write this digit using this expression, you can write like this: 75E8. Okay, here that is 75 into 10 power 8. Suppose if you want to write this in the form of real constants, you can write like this: 7.5 into 10 power 9. Okay, so this is called as floating point or real constants. So these are integer constants. Then next are character constants. In character constants, we have single character constants and string constants. Okay, so single character constants are denoted using a single quote. Okay, single character constant is used within a single quote. Suppose if I want to declare a character constant, I have to use the data type char, give the variable name, and then inside the single quote you have to give the character constant. Okay, and a digit can also be a character constant if you give it within the single quote. Now this 5 is different from this 5 in C programming. This is considered as integer data type and this is considered as character data type. Okay, so each and every character will have a ASCII value in C programming language. Okay, suppose if you want to print the value of A, if you write this expression in any of the platforms, you'll get 97 as the output because the value of small a is 97. Suppose if you give this number and if you want to print the character constant, percentile C is the format specifier for a character data type, right? So if you want to print this, alphabet is stored at, what character is stored at 97th position, you can give this statement, printf. Inside the double quotes, you give the format specifier, that is percentile C, comma, and give the value as 97. The output will be A, right? So this is how you can declare a character constant, right? And coming to the string constants are always denoted within the double quotes. Okay, let us discuss in detail about these strings in the upcoming classes. Okay, and these are the examples of strings. Strings are nothing but the sequence of a characters. Always the strings are denoted using the double quotes. And if you declare a string, and this is different from this. This is a single character and this is a string. This is considered as a string. Okay, so this is about the constants. The constants are divided into numeric and character constants. Under numeric constants, again we have integer constants and floating point constants, and under character constants we have single character constants and string constants. This is about constants. Okay, and the next is about strings. In C tokens we have a separate topic called as a string, right? As I said, now a string is the collection of a characters, right? So it is denoted using the data type char. Okay, char occupies 1 byte of data, and so we have to write the keyword char. Okay, and then you give any of the variable name. As I said, it is a collection of characters. It is a sequence of characters. It will be stored in this way. So in a variable, I can store only one element, right? But string is not one element, it is a collection of characters, right? So to get or to store such type of strings or any of the data types, we have the concept of arrays. Okay, so we can store the string in an character array, right? So I have to use the data type character and I have to give the variable name, and an array is denoted like this. Okay, A of, that is, this is subscript. Okay, inside this subscript I have to give the size of an array. Okay, so always an array is represented like this inside the flower braces. Inside the flower braces you can give the elements separated by comma. Okay, so as this is a character as it is a string, you have to denote each and every character within single quote. You can define the string in 3 different ways. In this 3 different ways. One of the ways is you can do like this. So you can give each and every character inside the quote. How you will define a character? Inside the single quote, right? So flower braces, single quote, give the character, separate it with a comma, and then this should be continued, and at last you have to give a null character. This is called as a null character. This null character indicates the end of the string. Okay, so null character is compulsory when you give the string in this way. This represents the end of the string. Okay, and you can give the string in this format also. Take the data type, that is char. Of course, to store a string, we do not have a specific data type in C. You have to use a character array. So that is why you have to take the data type char. Okay, and then I have taken the array name as str, and I have given the size. Okay, you can give the maximum size there, and the string should be within that size. If the string exceeds this size, you may get an error. Okay, so the string should be within that size. So str of 20 is equals to, inside the double quotes you have to give the string and then semicolon. This is one of the ways. Okay, and this is also one of the ways. You may not specify the size, but this can be done when you do the declaration and initialization in one line, in a single line. You cannot declare like this. You cannot declare and then later on you cannot initialize if you give an empty array. Right? This becomes wrong. If you want this to be empty, if you do not want to give this size, the declaration and initialization should be in one line. Then only you won't get an error. Otherwise, you will get an error if you want to give the declaration part and the initialization part in two different ways, in two different lines. Okay, so this is about strings. And next comes special symbols in C. We'll use many special symbols in our C programming language, where each and every special symbol has its own use. We'll use brackets. These brackets, as we have seen here, as I said, this is an array. These square brackets are used for array element references or subscripts for one-dimensional or multi-dimensional arrays. Okay, this will be used as a subscript, square brackets. And whereas parentheses, these are used for a function call. Okay, function calls and function parameters. Okay, and then braces. These open brace and close brace are used for start and end of the block. If you write something inside this open brace and close brace, this will be considered as one block. Okay, so these flower braces are considered as one block. And then next comes comma. It is used as a separator for more than one statement or more than one elements. It is used as a separator, and it is also used as a separator in function calls when you write the parameters. Okay, and then colon. Suppose if I use a switch case, there for case 1 you have to give a colon and then you have to write down. It is used, this operator is essentially used to invoke something. It's like labels, to invoke the labels. Okay, and the next comes semicolon. Semicolon is used as a statement terminator, and it indicates the end of one logical entity. As I said earlier, the statement is terminated when you use the semicolon. Okay, and then we have asterisk. Asterisk is used for pointer variable as well as multiplication of variables in a C programming language. Okay, and assignment operator, it is used to assign values and for logical operation validation. Okay, and then we have preprocessor. Preprocessor is a macro processor. It is used by the compiler to transform your program before actual compilation. So we use this preprocessor above the main function, like as include std in header and section of header files, and when you define the constant above the main function, in all those things we use this preprocessor. Okay, and then this is dot operator operate. It is used to access the members of a structure or a union. Okay, and then tilde, this is used as a bitwise ones complement operator. Okay, this symbol is used as a complementary operator. And in the next, thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.